It's obvious factory-built systems have many advantages: life safety, green, sustainability. Did you know site-built products carry a standard 1-year warranty on new construction and that some wraps are only warranted for 90 days? The minimum warranty of factory-built products is 1 year, with some manufacturers offering 10-year to limited lifetime protection. There are two more areas that are very important to you as the designer: specifier, engineer, or contractor. Codes. How do factory-built systems comply? And cost. To address code compliance, here's Sean Ray, Director of Engineering with Metal-Fab. Sean is a principal member of NFPA 96, a member of the ASTM E05 committee, responsible for the development of ASTM E2336, and also a member of the UL Standards Technical Panel for UL 1978 and UL 2221.
In the early 1990s, 3 of the model code groups provided new acceptance criteria in order to evaluate alternative fire-rated enclosures for kitchen exhaust.
SBCCI developed the first acceptance criteria based on ASTM fire test and a segment of UL 1978 standard for grease duct. BOCA upped the ante by requiring an E119 fire resistance test similar to the testing method required of shaft systems in the building codes. ICBO ES then created AC101 to evaluate field fabricated grease duct enclosures. The new evaluation criteria established a more stringent internal fire test simulating an actual grease duct fire. In the mid-90s, Metal-Fab introduced factory-built systems exceeding the test requirements of all model codes.
Since then, our staff continued to work with the code bodies and was instrumental in developing a test standard for factory-built grease ducts, AC121. As of January 2008, Metal-Fab is the only factory-built system to meet the strictest criteria of AC121 and maintain an ICBO ES report for our Series 4G. Let's put this in perspective as it relates to code. While many jurisdictions operating under the older versions of codes allowed alternative shaft enclosures based on their own evaluations or ES reports, these systems were not mentioned by the major code bodies until 2000.
The 2000 International Mechanical Code is the result of collaboration and the merger of SBCCI, BOCA, and ICBO to form the new International Code Council. Section 506.3.11 requires a fire-rated shaft to enclose 16-gauge welded duct at 6-inch minimum clearance. Included in this section is an exception. Shaft can be replaced with a listed and labeled enclosure when evaluated to a nationally recognized standard. The Uniform Mechanical Code made no provisions for alternative duct enclosures. However, ICC ES reports were typically accepted. NFPA 96 made no reference to factory-built systems, awaiting publication of UL 2221 under development by Underwriters Laboratories. The new International Mechanical Code 2003 edition section 506.3.11 remained essentially unchanged, adding the requirement to protect flexible duct wrap where exposed to damage. In 2004, NFPA 96, with UL 2221 in hand, modified section 431 to require that all field-wrapped and factory-built enclosures meet UL 2221 test standards. This was later amended to include ASTM E2336 for flexible wrap systems. In 2006, the ICC International Mechanical Code revised section 506.3.11 to require compliance with UL 2221 for factory-built systems and ASTM E2336 for flexible wrap systems. The IAPMO Uniform Mechanical Code was also revised to incorporate the requirements of NFPA 96, specifying UL 2221 or equivalent test standard for alternate enclosures. In 2008, NFPA 96 was revised to include the ASTM E2336 standard, replacing the equivalent language. This effectively limited products tested to these standards as the only acceptable alternative grease duct enclosures.